The weirdest part about buying a broken Bugatti Veyron wasn't the gearbox failure, it was how easily the failure disappeared. The car wouldn't go into drive. Nothing. Completely dead. And after all the horror stories surrounding Bugatti gearboxes, we were preparing for the worst. A 7-figure nightmare hiding underneath carbon fiber. The kind of repair bill that can financially destroy normal people. But then we replaced one tiny fuse and then suddenly the gearbox came back to life. Too easy, because gearboxes don't magically heal themselves, especially not on a Bugatti. And that instantly made this entire situation more dangerous. Because now we weren't dealing with a clearly broken car anymore. We were dealing with a hidden problem. A problem clever enough to disappear temporarily. And hidden problems are the ones that empty bank accounts. That tiny fuse controlled the hydraulic gearbox pump, the system responsible for building the pressure needed to physically engage gears. Without that pressure, the car is basically a very expensive sculpture. But fuses only melt for a reason. Too much heat, too much current draw. Something forcing the system to work harder than it should. So even though the gearbox suddenly worked again, one question kept getting louder in the back of my mind. What caused that fuse to nearly burn itself alive in the first place? And if we couldn't answer that question now, this entire car could fail again the second we actually start driving it, which is terrifying enough already. But then Bugatti made the situation even worse. Because Bugatti won't simply sell us parts for this car, unless the vehicle is physically with them. Meaning if this gearbox pump turns out to be failing internally, we can't just casually order replacement parts like a normal car. Everything suddenly became high stakes. Every diagnosis matters. Every wrong decision costs real money. And the scary thing is, this Veyron was already showing signs of being neglected long before we got our hands on it. The more we looked around the car, the more clues started appearing. Missing bolts, wrong hardware, panels previously removed. Signs someone had already been inside this thing trying to fix something, which immediately makes you wonder, what happened to this Bugatti before it got repossessed? Because cars this expensive don't end up abandoned unless something serious happened. But before ripping the entire gearbox system apart, we needed proof there was actually a fault. So first we started listening to how the car behaved. Every time the door opened, we could hear the hydraulic pump priming exactly like it should. Pressure built normally. The gearbox selected gears. Nothing sounded catastrophic. And honestly, that almost made things worse. Because the car was acting healthy, despite evidence proving something had clearly overheated badly enough to melt wiring and destroy a fuse. So before replacing expensive components, I wanted to see whether the gearbox was secretly losing hydraulic pressure behind the scenes. To do that, we had to start stripping the rear of the car apart. Quarter panel removed, carbon structure dismantled. More of the Veyron exposed layer by layer, and the deeper we got into the car, the more intimidating this thing became. Every panel feels engineered like a fighter jet. Every component hidden behind another component. Even simple access turns into hours of disassembly. This isn't a normal supercar. It feels more like industrial machinery disguised as a road car. Eventually, we reached the area surrounding the gearbox pump. And immediately, something caught our attention. Everything was damp, not flooded, not dripping, but definitely wet enough to look suspicious. And hydraulic systems aren't supposed to look suspicious. At that point, we genuinely thought we'd found the answer. Because if hydraulic pressure was leaking out somewhere, the pump would constantly reactivate trying to rebuild pressure. That would overwork the motor. Overworking the motor would generate heat. Heat would explain the melted fuse. The theory made perfect sense, except reality refused to cooperate. We cleaned everything with brake cleaner, opened the door again, activated the pump, waited for fresh fluid to appear. Nothing. No obvious leak. No catastrophic failure. No smoking gun. Just one suspicious detail sitting quietly beside the pump. A damaged wire. The insulation around the wiring had split open in places. At first glance, it didn't look dramatic. But electrical faults are dangerous because tiny problems create massive symptoms. And now we had two possible explanations. Either the damaged wiring caused the overheating, or the overheating destroyed the wiring afterward. And those are two very different problems. So instead of guessing, we plugged diagnostics into the car and monitored the hydraulic system live. If the gearbox was bleeding pressure internally, we'd finally see it happening in real time. The system started around 50 bar of pressure. Then we began shifting through gears while watching the live data. Every gear change caused a small pressure drop exactly like expected. Then around 44 bar, the pump kicked back in and rebuilt pressure. At first glance, everything looked normal, which honestly started becoming frustrating, because now the car was behaving like nothing was wrong at all. Still, seems normal isn't good enough when you're dealing with a Bugatti gearbox, so we decided to push the testing further. I called someone experienced with similar hydraulic systems, particularly Lamborghini systems that work in a very similar way. According to him, once the pump rebuilds pressure, the system should comfortably hold pressure for roughly 2 minutes before the pump needs to activate again. If ours couldn't do that, we'd finally know something inside the system was leaking or failing, so we tested it properly. Pump activates, pressure rebuilt. Stopwatch starts. 1 minute passes, then 2, then even longer. And somehow, the Veyron still held pressure perfectly, which completely destroyed our theory. At this point, nothing added up anymore. The fuse had clearly melted. The wiring clearly showed heat damage. Yet somehow the hydraulic system itself still behaved healthy. And while all of this gearbox confusion was happening, another issue was quietly waiting in the background: the engine misfire. The car still had an engine light, and diagnostics kept pointing towards cylinder 16. Now, on a normal car, diagnosing a misfire can be annoying. On a W16 Bugatti, it's a completely different level of pain, because reaching the ignition system means dismantling huge sections of the car. Airboxes removed, cooling systems disconnected, carbon trim stripped away. Hours of labor just to access a single ignition coil. And every second you spend dismantling a Bugatti, one horrible thought stays in your head. What if this isn't something simple? Because if this turned into injector problems, ECU issues, or internal engine damage, the cost escalation would be insane. Still, we started with the obvious possibility: coil packs. Volkswagen Group coil packs aren't exactly famous for reliability, and this engine uses a huge number of them. So we swapped the ignition coil from cylinder 16 into another cylinder. The logic was simple. If the fault moved, we found the bad coil, except it didn't move. Cylinder 16 stayed problematic, and suddenly the situation became much more uncomfortable, because now we weren't looking at a simple ignition failure anymore. Now we were looking at possibilities like spark plugs, injectors, ECUs, or ion sensing modules. Components capable of costing thousands before you've even fixed the actual issue. So we moved further upstream. On this engine, the ion sensing modules help control ignition firing across each bank of cylinders. There's one on each side, so we swapped those over next, hoping the fault would move with them. And then something happened that completely messed with our heads. The misfire disappeared. No warning light, no fault codes, smooth idle, which should have felt like a huge victory, except we hadn't actually repaired anything. And when problems disappear without explanation, that's usually temporary. Intermittent faults are the most dangerous faults because they convince you everything is fixed, right before they come back worse than before. Still, there was one thing I couldn't stop thinking about: that damaged gearbox pump wiring. So eventually, we decided to remove the entire hydraulic pump assembly from the car. And finally, we uncovered real evidence. The wiring insulation had completely cooked itself from heat. The plastic had become brittle and rock hard. Sections literally crumbled apart in our hands, exposing bare wiring underneath. This wasn't normal aging. Something had seriously overheated this pump over a long period of time. And then we discovered something even crazier. This hydraulic pump isn't some ultra-special Bugatti-only component. It's used in far more ordinary applications, including convertible roof systems, which suddenly explains why this design may struggle inside a Veyron. Because on a convertible roof, the pump only operates occasionally. On a Bugatti Veyron, it activates constantly. Every door opening, every pressure correction, every gear shift. Meaning this thing spends its entire life cycling on and off, generating heat over and over again. And suddenly Bugatti replacing these pumps during servicing stopped sounding ridiculous. It started sounding necessary. So now we had a decision to make. Do we replace the pump immediately and risk disturbing a system that currently works? Or leave it alone and risk finding out the hard way whether this entire gearbox setup is one drive away from failure? Because the truth is, we still don't fully know whether we bought an unbelievable bargain or one of the most expensive mistakes imaginable.